Hi, welcome back to the Quiet Zone. I'm Susan Patang, your host, and today we are going to talk about being the tornado, how to make it all happen when there's no time. And I have to say, this is probably the number one on the list of what makes me stressed out that I hear every day from people. So let's get right into it so you can create your own tornado. So, in order to manage our time for the best efficiency, the best way to do it is to set up systems. You can create as many systems as you think is going to work for your own stuff. Okay. So, you can create a system for doing laundry or other housework, a system for getting everybody up and out in the morning with a sandwich, and a system for planning your workday. So, or chores or tasks that you have at work. And it doesn't have to be a flow chart like this. For each system, what you can do is write down the tasks that need to be done in the order in which they need to be done. Okay. And also who is going to do them. So don't be afraid to delegate. Even a 7-year old can put laundry into the washing machine. So prioritize and make the important tasks happen at a time when you're at your best. So, for example, I will schedule most of my tasks for between 8 and 12, and then again between 4 and 6 because those are the times when I seem to have the most energy. So anything that requires more energy or more thought process, that's when I schedule them. Find out when your time is the best and schedule it for them. For then, at the very minimum, there should be a system to manage your appointments and the tasks that need to be done during the day, either at home or at work. So let's start there. Here is a sample calendar page. I keep a hard copy calendar book. You can get a fancy bound up thing if you want, but I use something that I downloaded, printed, and I put it in a cheap binder from Walmart. If you're all about technology, that's fine. But there is satisfaction and emotional gratification for crossing things off that list. But you do what works best for you. And like I said, this is kind of what my calendar page looks like. Here, there are appointments in here, client meeting, there's a eye doctor here. But I've also got things like visiting my daughter, cleaning the kitchen, the big honkin' report, work on marketing and giving the dogs a bath. Okay. That's a technique called time blocking. Okay. So I set aside times to do things that are of a high priority, and that me time is super important. Don't ever forget to put that in and always keep that. Make sure you reserve that time for you. There's another work method that you might have heard of, and it's called the Pomodoro method. So that involves working intensely for a period of time and then taking a proportionate break. So if you focus intensely on a task for 45 minutes, then take a 15-minute break. Or focus intensely for 25 minutes and take a 5-minute break. Okay. It doesn't really matter about the time. Do what works best for you and what it is you're doing. But the point is not only to have a break, but to use that break as a reward for working hard. So you'll always have that break to look forward to, and it'll keep you motivated and actually this technique has been shown to improve efficiency. Okay. So the next step is list making. Okay. So when we created our system, we made a list of all the working parts of the task, and we created a system to make them happen. Okay. The list making is to write down everything that has to be done. So you may have a facet of that system that needs to go on your daily list. So write down everything that needs to be done today. All right. And then prioritize it. So you can use different color pens or highlighters. Okay, you can see some things have been squared off, checked off, and things like that. You can put hearts or stars next to important things. It really doesn't matter. The point is to identify what is urgent and important, and also what can wait. Okay. So this list would be the outline for what you plan to accomplish during the day. And also, as part of that, create a long-term to-do list. And this can be things that you want to get around to eventually. When you have some extra time, you can schedule these things into your day. So you can also take these long-term to-dos and break them down into smaller bits, little bite-sized units, and put them into your calendar when you want to get them accomplished. So for example, I just have this, I don't know if you can see this here. Let me stop the screen share for a minute. There. Okay, so here is my goals and to-dos list, okay? And inside it, I have not only a list of things that I need to get accomplished, a big list of things, some of which have been crossed off already, as you can see, but then I will take those tasks on another page and break them down into smaller units, okay? And take those bite-sized units, and that's what I put into my calendar book. Back to the screen share. Okay, so you want to create that long-term to-do list. And I just got that cheapo notebook. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Okay, so that's a long-term to-do. It could be as nice or not as nice as you want it to be. You want it to function for you. Finally, the last step of this is to be flexible. Shit happens. Okay, I love the turd emoji. He's my favorite. You might have a grand plan for the day and it gets all screwed up. So leave extra time wherever you can. Remember when we were back at time blocking in that calendar page? Leave an extra half an hour just in case, especially when you're dealing with other people who may or may not be early or late, or you're unsure of how long something is going to take. Like, yeah, oh yeah, I know I have to clean the bathroom, and it usually takes a half an hour, but it's really like super, super dirty today. So leave an extra 15 minutes, okay? Then you'll have extra time to either put your feet up for a few minutes or grab one of those long-term to-do chunks, one of those bite-sized things, and work on that, okay? Don't beat yourself up if things go haywire, okay? Just stay in the moment, focus on what you're doing, and be grateful for what you're able to accomplish, okay? Even on the crappiest of days, there is always something that you can find to be grateful for, even if it's just that you survived it. Give yourself credit for being a badass who's becoming super efficient at planning your day. Another thing I want to mention too is to make sure that you don't hold yourself up to an unbelievable standard of perfection. Good enough is good enough. If you go to the blog page on my website, which I'll give you the website address in just a second, there is an article there about perfectionism. I want you to go and look at that. Okay, that's important. There's so much more to managing your time. Obviously, this is the Reader's Digest condensed version. But another problem that we often face is bringing work stress home with us, okay? So how often do we get sidetracked because we can't leave work at work? So I'm sure you've had work brain ruin your entire weekend, okay? Maybe you come home at the end of the day and concerns from your day follow you like a stalker. Or you wake up and you're brain dead for hours because you're distracted by the bent widgets report, okay? It's time for you to take my Dump the Junk, How to Leave Work Stress at Work power lesson and understand why you're grouchy and irritable when you come home. You'll learn what happens when you get stuck in work mode, why it's important to get that inner hamster out of the wheel, and best of all, learn how you can get off. So here's how it works. You get an instructional video and a cheat sheet to work with that gives you the techniques that you can use right away for a positive, long-lasting change. This is not a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. This is relearning how to structure your work life. And then what you will do is hop on a 45-minute one-on-one coaching session with me on Zoom. At the end of your session, you will be able to enjoy your time off again, be more fun to be around, and be able to focus on what's important to you on your time off. All of this in under an hour, all for $97. You can't beat that, okay? The other thing is too, is you can try on what coaching feels like. So if you felt like, I'm kind of thinking about getting a life coach to help me through some of this crap, this stressful burnout crap I'm experiencing, but you're not sure you want to commit to something long-term or something that's going to cost you a bunch of money, understood. One-on-one coaching session with the instructional video and the cheat sheet. This is how I work with my clients all the time for $100. You can give it a try and see how it works for you and if it's something that you enjoy. So you can get it. I would go do this as soon as possible because of the fact that there are only limited spots available for this service. www.thequietzonecoaching.com. You can find my power lessons there. You can find my Wake Up Happy in the Morning bootcamp program there. There's so much stuff. There's free stuff. There are individual lessons that you can buy without the coaching. So if you want to work by yourself with the materials, you can do that too. Those are only $39. So please go to my website, check it out, have some fun, play around, read some blog entries, a lot of good stuff there for you. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Can't wait to meet you. Have a wonderful, awesome, amazing, amazing day.